a resident alien. He can be deported under U.S. law for if the Secretary of State has any reasonable ground to believe he would have a potentially serious adverse foreign policy consequence. And you mentioned the student organization. The student organization put out. Let me finish.
But before you move on, because I think that's a really important.
They always doing Ken.
That's the statute that they're using.
Yeah.
Have you seen any evidence that suggests that there is actually a serious reason to believe that this student is going to be a threat to to national security?
I mean, I've certainly watched the abomination that's gone on at Columbia and Barnard and other places, and I will just tell you, and I'll just tell you that
I'm not going to let you move on because this is
I'll tell you why it's a threat to national security if you let me answer you.
Well, Scott,
do you want me to answer you or not?
Okay.
His organization says we are dedicated fighting for the total eradication of Western civilization.
Okay.
He's not a citizen.
All right, let me repeat that. I want Scott to repeat that. I was talking.
Not a citizen. He doesn't need to be here.
You just described him having viewpoints that you disagree with. Again, is that enough to have someone lose their rights in this country?
He has viewpoints that, in my opinion, jeopardize the security of the United States.
But how?
He is obviously a radical who is here to foment.
No, he's not a radical at all.
The United States government.
He wants to destroy Western civilization.
The United States government.
You're saying eradicate Western civilization doesn't make you a radical?
Oh man, they go on for this for like the whole clip. I have never seen Democrats and liberals do the amount of mental gymnastics to make this case for this guy. And again, for the folks that don't know, there was a protester. I want to say I forgot where it was at, but the dude's name is Muhammad Kali. Blah blah blah. So the point is, this guy is associated to a radical organization. Also, this guy is a father and has a wife. And I bring that up though, and not to give him grace or anything like that. But this guy's out here protesting while his wife and his kid are at home. This guy is acting a whole fool, trying to terrorize students. Whoish students, and he is attempting to do some type of harm, do some type of vandalism, and the media is just acting like this is no big deal. He shouldn't be deported because he has a green card. And for whatever reason, and I'm not saying like I know everything about American history or what it takes to be a citizen, but whatnot, blah, blah, blah. But a green card does not make you a U.S. citizen. I don't know when people started thinking that was a thing, but a green card does not make you a U.S. citizen. So you can be revoked and you can be sent packing.
Yep, absolutely. The Dems are hilarious to me at this point. Like, I don't understand. It's like they refuse to learn the lessons from this ass kicking they just got in this last election.
Yeah.
Like, the playbook is so old and worn out. They're down by 50 points in the fourth quarter with 30 seconds left, and they keep running the same play.
Yeah.
That's how I look at the Dems.
Fourth and 30.
4th and 30. Less than 2 minutes left. They're just going to quarterback sneak or something goofy like that. Like, y'all been outsmarted. Y'all been outmaneuvered. Y'all been out strategized. And Lindy Lee, if you don't know who she is, she's one of the biggest people who bring in money to the DNC. She left. And now she's on the Republican side. Like, how many Democrats are you going to see leave y'all before y'all realize how full of it y'all are? Yeah. And one of the things she talked about, I'm going to bring it back to this topic because the topic is domestic terrorism. We know that Trump had 2 attempts that we know of on his life, right?
Really 3.
We know that with the help of people in the United States, X and Tesla were both tried to be hacked by people in Ukraine with help from people in the United States.
Per Elon's Twitter.
Yes. So what does this all tell me? This tells me that the Dems are so salty that they lost, that they would rather see this country fall than try to help make positive changes for the people that actually live here. And Lindy Lee talked about this in her interview with PBD on Valuetainment. I highly recommend y'all look that up. She talked about this. All they cared about was abortion, baby deletion. Yeah. And they didn't care about any of these issues coming up where people telling them at the wall, hey, there's people getting through this wall. And they're not just coming from Central America, and they're tied to ISIS and Al-Qaeda and other terrorist orgs. And they ignore all this to lean in heavily on trans and sports and baby deletion. Like,
Yeah.
what are we doing here? They're not even adjusting, man. It's just frustrating watching them, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. I think the Democrats, they think this is, or really liberals in this situation, they think this is the playbook, and they don't realize that this stuff is going to be on the internet forever, and they're going to remember. Well, I mean, they're we remember it, and I think that's part of the reason why X has been so powerful, because all these other places would have suppressed it. I don't think I even knew who Scott Jennings was until until Elon purchased X. So you have Scott Jennings, and he's one of the few people on CNN that's like worth the listen. There's another guy, I forget his name. He's pretty good too. It's the black dude that's on there. I don't know if he's like, I don't know if he's really conservative, but he will definitely push back on a lot of points because this is common sense positions. But yeah, with Scott Jennings, though, this is a normal day in the neighborhood for this guy. I don't know why, for the life of me, he stays with it. And all he's bringing is facts. He doesn't do hyperbole. He doesn't exaggerate. This is 100% facts is what he brings in. And for them to sit here and fight, like right now, they're doing marches in, I think it's is this in New York? I think it's in New York, wherever it's at. They're doing marches in this guy's honor. They're trying to say, like, what the United States is doing is not constitutional. Like, again, I don't know where these people are getting their education from. I don't know why this is the guy that they're trying to fight and rally behind. Honestly, what reminds me of, it's like they're trying to make him the next George Floyd. Like, only except this guy's about to get deported. Like, I don't understand what they're trying, why they want this guy to be on the level with that, because they're just trying to use him as their quote unquote martyr and push whatever stupid agenda they have against Trump. Like this doesn't make any sense. And for the people like that are, against, I mean, they're probably never Trumpers. There's no way you can be okay with this, because if you're not okay with the January Sixers, then you're not okay with these Palestine protesters just because they're going after the whoish folks. Like, you can't be okay with that, and you can't be okay with the Tesla protests where they're attacking people with Tesla vehicles, and they're destroying Tesla chargers. I mean, all I ever heard with them before Elon linked up with Trump was like, Elon's a great guy. Elon's for the the Green New Deal or whatever. He's trying to make the earth cleaner or whatever. He has an American company that has American workers. Elon on paper is doing everything that he is. I mean, you want out of all your companies or American companies, but for whatever reason, they just turn a blind eye. And this is what I think is leading up to these attempts that led up to attempts on Trump's life, because they push out this rhetoric. They won't clean it up. They won't. They try to justify it, and they go against anyone that goes against them or who doesn't agree with them. And so this is dangerous rhetoric, and this is something that you drive a Tesla, you can have it vandalized. I'm like, man, this is crazy. I mean, I wanted to get a Tesla. I can't afford a Tesla, but I wanted to get one. And maybe down the road, maybe I will get one once all the smoke blows over. But the point is that you should not be attacking people because of their car choices. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. Let me help you out if you lean on the left, because y'all still don't get it. So I just posted the link to Doge's website, and Doge provides live, up-to-date statuses on all of their findings. Why don't you focus on proving these things wrong, as opposed to your typical played out arguments of throwing out insults and shame? Because that doesn't work. Why haven't you figured this out yet?
Right.
If you want to take them down and take the office back, and you truly do think your party is the better party, I don't agree with you, but that's your opinion to have it. Why don't you go through this list of Doge stuff and disprove some of these things that they're saying? Because to my knowledge, they've only proved one thing wrong that he said. I think that somebody found evidence that he overstated the amount of money they were sending to Gaza for condoms. But everything else on here, I've yet to hear anybody push back and disprove any of this stuff.
Yeah.
Y'all focusing on the wrong things. Y'all focusing on emotional stuff as opposed to policy. And I'm gonna tell you like this: if this Doge dividend happens, it's gonna be a long time before y'all in the White House again, because everybody's gonna remember that for a long time.
Yeah, they'll probably call it the Trump Doge dividend or whatever it is. But this is the thing, is that a lot of the leftists, no matter what they post, even with the local news, like, because they're biased, like, and this is on Facebook and Instagram, unfortunately, if you want to get the news, you got to go to X. You can't get it off of these other. Even though Zuckerberg said it, we're going to be a little more balanced. No, you're not. People are still posting out fake information. Maybe you don't do as many takedowns, but they're still posting out posting misinformation. And there's no on X. They have the community notes. So I don't know what it is on Instagram or Facebook. But the point is, they're still putting out that just bad information. Like when you go to then the funny thing is, if you try to research the article or try to read the article, it's locked. So you be a subscriber. I know most of the people are not subscribers, so they create this fictitious headline that gets everyone riled up, and all you got to do is look up exactly what's happening, and then they don't do it. They refuse to do it. They just go off of what the headlines say because they're doing off of clicks, and this is what's putting people. A lot of people to try to say Trump was the king of misinformation. No, it's the left. They are the harbingers of misinformation, and it's like I think the part of the reason they're doing it is because it's monetized. But if they just told the truth, they would still make the same amount of money.
Yeah,
they just don't.
And bringing it back to domestic terrorism again. So the office, the Government Accountability Office, they do a U.S. terrorist assessment every year. I just posted an article to their most recent one. I think the next one's about to be released too. But over the last 10 years, I want to call out that U.S.-based domestic terrorism has increased by 357%.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But hey, keep talking about baby deletions. Keep ignoring public safety and keep talking about baby deletions.
Yeah, and if you listen to Jasmine Crockett, she's going to tell you it's due to white supremacy or whatever, but that's not it. That's not what's creating these terror incidents. Not even close.
I want to call out that this report that you just pulled up, TR, came under the Biden administration. This report is not tied to Trump in any way. So even Biden's own party knows that domestic terrorism is a problem, but they're not talking about it for some reason.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's funny. I was looking at it. I saw a bunch of blue dots, which is the blue dot was their logo for the Democrats last year.
Oh yeah. That was the Nebraska thing they were trying to do.
Yeah, that's hilarious. So
yeah.
All right. Last topic.